What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining me today on another episode on this channel. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also ding the bell for notifications so you'll know when I put out future videos. In today's episode, let's talk Rocketman. This is the Elton John biopic. I'm a big fan of music biographies. I just am. I'm a musician, trained musician myself, but I'm not here to talk necessarily about the movie, but there's one aspect of the movie that has been getting a lot of pub lately, and it is the set scene between Elton John and John Reed, who was his business partner and his lover. And in this article here that you can see on Screen Rant, it says cutting the set scene would have made Rocketman worse. Now, I haven't seen this movie yet. I probably will see it, but to say that one particular scene, if it's removed, especially a set scene, I should say in this case, if they removed the set scene in this movie, it would have made the movie worse. I'm not following this right here because I don't think any set scene in any movie dictates whether a film would be better or worse, you know? I'm just not, because I don't think set scenes in movies are really a necessity to a movie. Case in point, Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody, of course, we all know Freddie Mercury was a bisexual man, and they didn't show any set scenes in that movie whatsoever. They didn't even show any set scenes with him and Mary Austin. And that was the love of his life, that woman. But you saw the love he had for her in the movie without the sets being involved. So it wasn't a necessity whatsoever. There was no gay set scenes in that movie. It didn't touch on it. And Bohemian Rhapsody was a very, very good movie. If they added a set scene in the movie of Bohemian Rhapsody, would it have made the movie better? No, I don't think so whatsoever. So, but there was a rumor here. It says here, in March, it was reported that Studio Paramount demanded director Dexter Fletcher and producer Matthew Vaughn remove the new set scene so that Rocketman could get a PG-13 rating in the U.S., presumably with the hopes of opening it up to more viewers and more potential profit. Now, everything that I've heard about Elton John's life, there is no way in the world it was a PG-13 life. I think even without this scene, it was going to be an R-rated movie, mainly because of the drugs that were involved. You know, I think Bohemian Rhapsody, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was an R-rated movie too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. But it says here, Fletcher was quick to debunk the report that Paramount asked for the Rocketman set scene to be cut, and Matten has since said it would have been a disservice to John to cut a key part of the musician's life. More recently, John wrote about his experience of getting the movie made and revealed that he had to fight to make sure studios made an R-rated Rocketman that didn't tone down the sets and drugs that were a part of his life. So, a disservice to Elton John if they cut out that scene. Now, I'm not overall a big fan of set scenes in movies anyway, but to say it would have been a disservice to him, Elton John had lovers. We know this. He said this. He actually said it was absolutely a miracle he didn't catch AIDS during the 80s in the AIDS epidemic. So we already know that he was having sex. He was in a relationship. He was having sex. That's what most people in relationships do. They have sex. So to see it on screen and to say it was a necessity, it would pretty much make or break the movie. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, like I said before, even if they cut that scene out, you know, to try to get it to a PG-13, I don't know if this movie would be meant for 12 and 13-year-olds anyway, because of the partying and the drugs that are involved. I don't know if you want young kids seeing that anyway, even if they cut out the set scene. But Elton John, he didn't want to hold back, and I respect that because it's his life story, and he wanted the sets and the drugs in there. Now, from what I'm understanding, this is the first gay set scene in a movie. I don't know how Taron Egerton and Richard Madden felt about doing that scene, considering they're two straight males. Me personally, if I'm an actor, I couldn't perform that scene on screen. I'm heterosexual. I couldn't kiss a guy. That's my thing. If that's your thing, that's fine. That's okay. You do you, but I wouldn't be able to do that. But to get back to this, I don't think that it was going to make or break the movie whatsoever. The reviews for the movie are really, really good. I believe that this movie has somewhere around like a 90 on the tomato meter. I think the audience score is like around an 89. So you mean to tell me that if they deleted this one scene out of the movie, it probably would have hurt the way the viewers thought of the movie? I'm not so sure about that. Now, it goes on to say here, certainly Rocketman would have been worse without all of the other scenes that accurately portray John's life as it was, sex, drugs, and profane language and all. Rocketman is officially R-rated for language throughout, some drug use, and sexual content. But cutting this particular scene between John and Reed would have been egregious because it would both erase a core aspect of John's sexuality, the actual sex, and because it's key to understanding John's relationship with Reed. Throughout the movie, Reed becomes a kind of villain in John's story, someone who manipulated John and outright abused him in one shocking instance. The scene in which Reed hits John is all the more shocking in its physicality because it's contrasted in Rocketman by their set scene, which is one of the happiest and tender vulnerability. Without the set scene depicting John and Reed forming a true connection, the rest of their relationship pushes the boundaries of belief. Viewers might wonder why John would stay with such a blatantly abusive man, and the answer is in the set scene, because Reed is the first man John forms that real connection with, and because John loves Reed. Well, saying it like that, you make it almost seem like that Elton John was whipped by Reed. Like he was, I guess the sex was so good that he couldn't leave. That's what it makes it seem like saying this. And I don't necessarily believe that is the case. But the way they put this in his article here, it made it seem like you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying there. But I don't agree with this. I don't think that cutting this set scene out of the movie would have hurt the movie one bit. Because there's different ways to show an affection for someone that you're in a relationship in a movie besides showing the set scenes. It's not a necessity whatsoever. But guys, that's just my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on this? Rocketman, have you seen it? And if so, did this set scene absolutely need to be in the movie? Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me. And we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.